What is up, guys? I am back. Well, so to speak. I've already been doing videos. Obviously, if you've, been following me on my channel, I've done, I think 2 new episodes of something I've been testing. It's called 4 a.m. Gaming, where on Thursdays at 4 a.m. in the morning, Central Standard Time, I get up early in the morning and I play Call of Duty for right now on Twitch, and I go over some of the latest and greatest gaming news. But I am back doing my regular content. If you're not familiar, this is the MashUp. This is where I go over all the latest tech, gaming, and entertainment news that I feel like you should know about. It is good to be back. I have missed doing videos. As you can see, my setup's a little bit different, and I'm going to be tweaking this kind of as I go along and, getting more back into the groove of things. For those that have wondered, where have I been since my last true video was since April? I bought a house, I had a baby, I've been trying to get this office straightened up. As you can see, I've got some, good stuff back there that I need to take care of, but it's going to all come together. So let's get right into it. Ford announced their new Mustang Mach-E. This is the all-electric Mustang, guys. When I saw this, I thought, I don't know. Mustang's, a sports car. Why are they doing this? Why can't they... what I don't understand is why some of these car companies are going after sports cars when everybody's driving SUVs right now. Like, why can't they come out with, like, a new all-electric SUV or truck, like the new all-electric Expedition or Explorer or Edge or Escape or something? We got hybrids coming out, but why not go after all-electric SUVs, since that's what's selling in the market? They're doing this obviously in direct competition to Tesla with the Model Y that's going to be coming out, and they're even comparing this to be better than the new Porsche Macan and all the other all-electric sports cars that are coming out. As far as styling goes for the Mustang Mach-E, I'd say it would resemble more of like the BMW X6 as far as like a lifted SUV. It's set to arrive in 2020, at least for the first edition model. And that's looking to have horsepower around 332 horsepower with 417 pounds-feet of torque. And it's saying that it can do 0 to 60 about base Porsche Macan series time. That's probably like 4 to 5 seconds. There will be a GT model that's going to be released, and that's going to have way more horsepower and torque. And they're talking about mid 3 seconds range. MSRP for this starts around $60,000 for the first edition. The standard series, which is like a base model, will be more around like $44,000. And reservations are happening now. If you put a $500 deposit down, and real world deliveries will be around 2021. I know for myself personally, I'm not gonna be getting a Mustang Mach-E. I know I'm just like torn apart about it, but maybe in the future when they have worked out the kinks, because this is looking like a first edition device, and they're probably gonna have problems, just like they did with the Chevy Volt and all the other kind of all-electric cars that have come out. But, maybe in the future when they come out with more all-electric, like the Expedition or Explorer or maybe even F-150, then maybe I might go after it. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you, are going to reserve your own Mustang Mach-E, and what you feel overall about having this in the Mustang family. All right, DC fans, fellow DC brethren, those that are out there that like Justice League, I need your help, guys. We all need your help. We need y'all to #release the Snyder Cut. For those that aren't familiar, the Justice League movie was originally directed by Zack Snyder. Due to a family emergency, he had to pull himself away from the movie. I think about like halfway through, and then Joss Whedon came over and took over for the whole film and kind of took it in a different direction than what Zack Snyder originally intended. And so now, 2 years later, after the movie's release, this reemergence has come about mostly on Twitter and other social media, that people want to see the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League movie. And I am one of those people. I enjoyed the Justice League movie. I know a lot of people did not like it. I think my only gripe would be maybe Ezra Miller as the Flash. I know, some of you out there are like, Ezra Miller's fine. But I mean, as you can see, I got like a crap load. I don't know if you can see, I got tons of Flash stuff. I even have a box right here that has tons of Flash stuff that I don't know if I can get out in this whole room. But I am a diehard Flash fan, and that was probably the only thing. I mean, he was okay, but I mean, I want Grant Gustin. I think Grant Gustin should be it. I loved him in the TV show. Still is in the TV show, and I wish he could just be in the movie. But, you know, I digress. Anyways, the Zack Snyder cut basically is going to give us more in-depth details about Darkseid. And, you know, if you're a fan of the comics, if you've grown up watching like any like Superman, the animated series, or even like the Justice League cartoon, you'll know that the main bad villain is Darkseid. He's basically like the Thanos of DC. And so, you know, when Justice League came out, we got Steppenwolf, which is really not, you know, he's kind of like a henchman. That's not Darkseid, you know, and I think that while the first Justice League movie is complete, it's kind of just like a stepping stone into something bigger. I think it would have been better if, you know, they would still have kept Darkseid in the movie to some capacity. I know we have like the apocalyptic flashback scenes or, you know, forward-thinking scenes that Batman sees, but, you know, to actually have him like teased in the movie, either like through history or like how Thanos came about, like in the Avengers, you know, something to say, hey, there's something big coming down the pike, and you're going to want to stay around to see it. So they're pushing for the release of the Snyder Cut. I don't know what is actually going to come about that. The main problem with this is that a lot of that stuff was left on the editing floor and stuff that would need to be reshot. And, you know, the actors have moved on. You know, Henry Cavill's going to be in The Witcher, and he's no longer being Superman, and Ben Affleck's not Batman anymore. There's just a lot of things that have changed, and I think what ultimately should just happen is whatever has been filmed, or they can piece together, just go ahead and do that in the way that would make the story still complete, but infuse more of what Snyder wanted in the movie. They haven't said if they're going to do anything about that. Warner Brothers hasn't made a statement yet. If they do something, it won't be like a theatrical release, more likely. They could put it on the new HBO Max. That's what people are speculating. Or, I mean, they could just do like a straight release. I mean, they do that all the time. X-Men Days of Future Past had a Rogue cut, which had all the lead scenes that Rogue was in. And I have that and the original theatrical copy. So I think it would sell well. I think people would support it. But let me know in the comments below what you think. If you want a Zack Snyder cut of Justice League released. I just saw a new poster for, like a fan-made poster by Boss Logic on Twitter that I thought was super cool. And it kind of showcases what the movie really could have been, you know, had we had a Zack Snyder movie. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Before we get to the last story of the day, it's time to go over the best of the rest. And these will be the stories that didn't quite make it to prime time. At least that's what I'm going to be calling it. Microsoft announced that it will pull Cortana from 8 countries. After January 31st, 2020, the Cortana app for Android and iOS, along with services available in the Microsoft Launcher app, will no longer be supported or available in Australia, Canada, the UK, China, Mexico, Germany, Spain, and India. Current T-Mobile CEO John Legere announced via his Twitter that he will be stepping down next April after overseeing the closure of the merger with Sprint. Current CEO Mike Sievert will take over on May 1st, 2020. Legere, who has been the CEO for over 6 years, has helped turn T-Mobile around and even change the mobile business landscape with its Un-carrier marketing and business strategies. ByteDance, the parent company behind TikTok, is planning a music streaming service to compete with Spotify and Apple Music. It will be released in markets like India, Indonesia, and Brazil before expanding to the US. Samsung and Star Wars fans get excited because Samsung is releasing a Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Edition Galaxy Note 10 Plus. The special edition device will be in limited quantities and go on sale on December 13th for $1,299 at Amazon, Best Buy, Microsoft, and Samsung. Fans of Marvel's Runaways will be sad to hear that Season 3 will be its last. This is coming after news that Kevin Feige will not continue with previous shows and future TV development that does not coincide with the MCU. Marvel's Runaways airs on Hulu. A patent was recently leaked of the upcoming controller for the PlayStation 5. While looking very similar to the current DualShock 4 controller, the new controller will have similar sticks, larger triggers, a USB charging port, and no light bar. And Shenmue fans rejoice because after 18 years, Shenmue 3 has finally been released. The game takes place right after the events of Shenmue 2, and Shenmue creator Yu Suzuki said that the ending of the game was left open intentionally to hopefully allow for more sequels in the series. And rounding out today's news, Google Stadia was launched this week, and it's been to mixed results. I think more of what's happening is Google wants to see, which is smart, I can see what they're doing, but they want to kind of test the waters a little bit and get some reaction. Now, what I'm not liking about what I'm reading and hearing is that basically they're doing a live beta test of the game. Do I blame them for this? No. Do I think it's a smart move? No. First impressions are everything. And while a lot of people are saying the game has potential, that the overall service has potential, everybody is seeing limitations that it has and the potential problems it's going to have, and a lack of services it didn't launch with that were promised at the announcement. So basically what it's come down to is the games that were said to be announced, they actually released more games than they said, which is good. That's a plus. There's more content for people to play with, but the only people that can really participate right now is people that bought the Founders Edition, which comes with the Special Edition Chromecast Ultra and of course, the Stadia controller. And you can only really play it right now on the Chrome browser. And I think the part that people are getting kind of hung up on is there is lag. And I think people have to keep in mind that Google Stadia, if you look at the megabyte chart that was touted, you really have to have a super fast connection for this to work. Now, I know they're going to hopefully allow for people with, lower latency connections and low speeds play, but for this early release, you really need to have a super fast connection and a really stable connection for this to work. You're playing games that are 30, 50 gigs plus, like Destiny, straight over the internet. This isn't like, stuff that's stored on your console and it's reading and it's just connecting to multiplayer and like whatever needs internet. I mean, it's straight over the internet and it's on Google servers. I think there is potential here. I think that, as Google sees people's reactions and they get feedback and they get, data results back from the games being played, they can tweak the servers, they can tweak the service itself. They'll know it works, but doesn't work, and ultimately make the product better. The problem I see with that is if you're going into a holiday season, you're going to have all these people wanting their stuff to work right out of the box, and for some people it might, and then for some people it won't. So you're going to have an inconsistency with people's gaming experiences, and like I said earlier, first impressions are everything, and if people automatically walk away from Google Stadia saying that it's not fully cooked and I just don't have time to wait for it to be, that may hurt, they may hurt the platform. I think overall where they're going is just generally where the market's going. We're going into a diskless world, which I talked about in a previous video earlier this year, and I think this is just where it is. And so I think with Google trying to go away from a console and strictly to a service-based platform, I commend them for trying to do that, and I hope that they are able to give gamers a very mobile and usable gaming experience. I know for me personally, I don't know if I'll ever really get away from a disc or fully commit to a streaming platform. I'm just of an old age where, that's just what I've grown up with and what I'm used to. But that's not to say that I won't ever consider Google Stadia in the future. So I'm just kind of like living vicariously through people that I follow on YouTube and I follow on Twitter and friends that I know that are going to buy it. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're going to get Google Stadia, and if you already have it, what's your experience like? What are the things that you like about it? What do you not like about it? What are some of the problems that you're experiencing? Have you let Google know about those? I mean, how do you feel about being like a beta tester, really? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today's news on this hump day. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of the MashUp, including all past videos and all the upcoming 4am gaming videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next MashUp.